Finding area in everyday shapes is more common than we think. In the next few minutes, we're going to be looking at examples of area in furniture, landscaping, and in home improvement. So the first example we're going to look at is furniture. I purchased an area rug for my living room. How much room will it take up? One reason we might need to ask ourselves this is you don't want the area rug to take up the entire room, but you also don't want it to be too small where it doesn't fit the layout of your room, or maybe it doesn't have the impact that you were looking for. Okay, so if we look at an area rug from an aerial view, it might look something like this. So let's say the length of this rug, or we'll say the height in this case, is 7 feet, and we'll say the width of this rug is 5 feet. The reason I chose those dimensions is those are pretty common when you go to find an area rug at any store nowadays. So the area of a rectangle is area equals base times height. So if we take the base of our area rug, which was 5 feet, and the height or the length of our area rug, which was 7 feet, and multiply them together, 5 times 7 is 35 square feet. Another example. My backyard needs grass seed. It's in the shape of a triangle, and I'm unsure how much grass seed to buy. This is an example of you don't want to buy too much grass seed because you're wasting your money, but you also don't want to run out halfway during the process. That also would not be a very ideal situation. So let's take a look at our backyard as this shape of a triangle. And we're going to say the height or the length of this triangle is 15 feet. And then we're going to say the width of this triangle is 10 feet. So we have to use the formula for area of a triangle to figure out this area. To do that, let's start with the area of a rectangle, which remember was base times height. Well, if we take a triangle and we actually add onto it using these dotted lines you see, it makes a rectangle. So that means the area of a triangle is still base times height, but divided by 2. So if we go ahead and use this formula, we can plug in the base of our triangle and the height of our triangle to figure out what the area of our backyard is. So 10 times that 15, we're going to get 150 feet squared divided by 2. So that means our area is 75 square feet. Another thing we need to keep in mind though is just because we found the area, we still don't know how much grass seed to buy. One bag of grass seed covers 25 square feet of lawn. How many bags should I purchase? Well, we can take the area of our backyard divided by how much each bag of grass seed covers, and that lets us know we need 3 bags of grass seed. Our last example. I need to paint a wall in my house that's the shape of a trapezoid. How much paint should I get? Again, you don't want to buy too much paint because you're wasting your money, but you also don't want to run out because if you go to paint the next day, the wall could appear streaky, or you could tell where the old paint and the new paint are. So here's a picture of what our wall might look like. I labeled the height of the wall 12 feet, so both of those red lines are 12 feet. And you might be wondering why I didn't label the entire bottom as a dimension. And the reason is, let's just find the area of the rectangle in the middle, plus the area of the 2 triangles on either end, because we already know those formulas. So area of a rectangle was base times height, and area of a triangle was base times height divided by 2. Well, on the screen I multiplied by 2 because there were 2 triangles on either end. Here's the nice part. Those 2's cancel each other out, which makes area a lot easier to work with. So if we take the base and height of our rectangle and the base and height of our triangle and use PEMDAS to figure this out, we can get our area. Don't forget we need to multiply those 2 sets of numbers first and then add them, so we get 108 square feet. Okay, how could I have found the area easier? What's the formula for the area of a trapezoid? It would have been a lot nicer just to plug in numbers and say here we go, versus splitting it up into 3 totally different shapes. So what if we take that trapezoid and we cut it in a slightly different way? Let's cut it across from the bottom left to the top right and split it up into 2 triangles. I see a base and a height of my first triangle, which allows me to use that formula again, base times height divided by 2. We can do the same thing with our second triangle, and then add those ideas together. The reason I labeled it base 1 and base 2 is because in a trapezoid, those are two different lengths, but the height is the same length on both sides. So let's take height out of the top of the equation, so we just add our bases together, then times by the height, divided by 2. This is the more common formula we've seen in the past for the area of a trapezoid, and it should get us the same answer. So if we look at that picture, if I take that 6 feet on the top and bring it down, 3 feet plus 6 plus 3 would give us 12 feet for that base 2. So let's take our area formula for a trapezoid and plug in those dimensions. Don't forget to use PEMDAS, and we have 108 square feet that way as well. Awesome. But again, I still don't know how much paint to buy. So what if 1 can of paint covers 27 square feet of wall space? How many cans should I purchase? Again, just like our backyard, we can take the area, divide by how much 1 can of paint covers, lets me know I need 4 cans of paint. So we just looked at 3 different area formulas for 3 different situations in our everyday common life. Area of a rectangle in furniture, area of a triangle in landscaping, and area of a trapezoid in home improvement. So I have a challenge for you, something for you guys to think about. I challenge you to find the area of these shapes in your everyday life. So I have some other examples here up on the screen. Things like a yield sign, a chess table, a pizza slice, or even a birdhouse. Look around you and see where there's other examples of area.